Hello friends, I'm Roshni Pandey and I'm here to share my interview experience that held on 26th of August. And when I entered the interview room, they asked me my name and the place I belong to, and I replied to them. And then they asked me about my spec power, and I replied to them. And then they asked me about in which year I completed my class 12th, and I replied that I completed it in 2017. And then they asked me, okay, what have you done after that? And I replied that after that I have done my graduation and currently I'm pursuing my post grad. Then they asked me about my subject of post graduation and I replied to them. And as I belong to Uttarakhand, so one of the MNS officer asked me about what about women's safety in Uttarakhand. And I replied that in terms of women's safety, Uttarakhand is quite good. And then she asked me a contrary question that how could you say that? Your CM says that women should not wear jeans as it is not safe for them. And then I replied that it's political matter, I can't comment on that. And then she asked me, no, no, it's not political. And then I replied that, ma'am, sorry, I can't comment on that. And then she asked me, okay, so रात को कितने बजे तक आप बाहर निकलती हो? And I replied, 10-12 बजे तक निकल जाती हूँ. And then she asked me, okay, so you feel safe? मैंने कहा हाँ, I feel safe. And then she asked me, okay, so you feel safe, that's why तुम्हें लगता है कि सारे safe हैं. And then I replied that, ma'am, as I am living there and I have experience about the conditions there, so I feel that women are quite safe in Uttarakhand as compared to other states. And according to the data which I have read, it is written that Dehradun is one of the safest city in whole India. And then she asked me that आप न्यूज़पेपर वगैरह नहीं पढ़ती, आप स्टैटिक्स नहीं पता आपको. एंड देन आई रिप्लाइड दैट, मैम, जो स्टैटिक्स मैंने पढ़े हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंग उत्तराखंड काफ़ी सेफ़ है एंड देहरादून इज़ वन ऑफ द सेफेस्ट सिटी. And then they asked me, okay, so next interviewee asked me about my hobbies, and I replied what my hobbies are. And one of the most unique hobby of mine was chocolate wrapper collection. And then they asked me several questions regarding that. One of the interviewee asked me about name some chocolates, and I replied three to four as I remember only those at that time. And then the next interviewee told me about the another chocolates which I haven't told to them. And then they asked me that ये तो बस 3-4 हैं, अगर आपकी चॉकलेट कलेक्शन रबी है तो आपको पता नहीं तो फिर. then I replied that I collect Cadbury mainly, so I remember that. And then they asked me, okay, so क्या करती हैं आप chocolates का? And I replied that I collect it as a happy moment, as it reminds me of the happy people and the happy moments I share my time with and the moments I shared with them. And then they asked me, okay, so उसके बाद क्या करती हो उन chocolate wrappers का? And then I replied कि मैं डायरी पे पेस्ट करती हूँ. Then they again asked me, okay, उसके बाद क्या करोगी? उसके बाद then I replied that मैं उसे अपने बॉक्स में कलेक्ट करके रखती हूँ. And then she asked me that अच्छा कितनी चॉकलेट रैपर्स होंगी आपके पास? And I replied that 50+ होंगी. उन्होंने कहा 50? मैंने कहा हाँ 50+ होंगी. And then she asked me, okay, so चीटियाँ नहीं लगती उन पे? And then I replied, no, चीटियाँ नहीं लगती. And then she asked me, अच्छा तो धोके रखती हो क्या? And then I smiled that no मैम, धोके नहीं रखती हूँ, but नहीं लगती उन पे चीटियाँ. Okay, so then they asked me about why I want to join nursing, and I replied that it's a very humble and kind profession. I would be getting a chance to take care of the patients. I will be with And then they asked me why MNS, and I replied the answer. And I told them that as no one is in my family from army background, so I would be the first woman to be a part of it, and it's a very proud moment for me. And then they asked me why proud, and then I replied that आर्मी एक बहुत ही नोबल प्रोफेशन है, and I would be extremely proud to be a part of it, as no one is in my family from army, so I would be the first one to join army, so it is a very proud moment for me. And then they asked me about then the MNS officer asked me about alcoholic peoples in Uttarakhand, and I replied that ma'am family में कोई नहीं है, neighborhood में नहीं है. And then she told me that no, we are not talking about your family or neighborhood, we are talking in general, that what about alcoholic peoples in Uttarakhand. And then I replied that ma'am, I can't deny the fact that alcoholic peoples are not in Uttarakhand. I replied that someone is there always, that थोड़े बहुत लोग तो कहीं हर कहीं पे होते हैं alcoholic, so definitely उत्तराखंड में भी हैं. And then it went all. It was a good experience. Atul sir prepared us well for the interview. I really want to thank him from the bottom of my heart. And Achal also helped me a lot to boost my confidence. We used to uh, I used to talk to her personally whenever I feel less confidence in me. So I'm very thankful to Achal too. They both help us to the best of their capabilities, and because of that, we gained confidence during the actual interview, and it went smooth. So we had a very cordial time which we have spent it with each other, and I really want to thank everyone uh, I came in contact with. And at last, I really want to thank Atul sir and Achal for their immense support. Thank you so much.